the witness. I am the witness. I am the witness, ye holy ones of God. Therefore receive me and the hosts of the Lord who gather this day. For I am Michael, Prince of the Archangels, and I salute my own. In the center of the sun of Helios and Vesta. Therefore you have received our rays commingled with those of the beloved Father, Mother of this system of worlds. So drink in the light of archangels and their archei, for we have come to earth, and we have penetrated the density of all levels into the very physical earth body itself. Therefore we do come, O ye saints and those who would be. We come therefore with a piercing light, and that light is to thrust home the power, wisdom, and love of God, that you might be delivered of certain momentums, not of the light, certain momentums of the human consciousness that have continued to bind you to the levels of death and hell, so much so that between embodiments your souls have gone to that astral plane. Blessed ones, we would speak now, therefore be seated. It is our determination made to the Lords of Karma, to beloved Saint Germain and Portia, that all those who contact this activity and pursue with all diligence the giving of the dynamic decrees, calling forth the light of God and the violet flame, calling to the 7 mighty archangels, calling for the binding of their own dweller on the threshold and that of every member of this activity, fulfilling all things, beloved, shall not have to return to that astral plane at the conclusion of this embodiment, and also, if you are diligent, will no longer gravitate to those levels of morbidity, depression, death, and self-condemnation which are of the astral plane while you are in physical embodiment. This, beloved ones, is our goal. In this we will support you, but you have a great work to do in this matter if you are among those whose tendency is to slip in to old astral patterns. Therefore understand that if you do the work, we shall provide the strengthening. We shall come forth as you wield my sword physically, and we shall come forth to cut you free spiritually. We will work hand in hand with you. We desire to have a body of light bearers who make up this church universal and triumphant, whose garments do not descend into the astral plane. If you should make this your one-pointed goal, and to allow your personal calls to extend on behalf of weaker souls or those newer to this activity who are unable to sustain that level, then, beloved, we shall have for the first time in many ages a church body on earth in physical embodiment that does not descend lower than the mental plane and does abide in the physical, mental, and etheric the two higher octaves overlapping the physical, and does have as steel, as fire, as diamond, the wall that does separate them from these lower planes. This is the proposal we bring to this day, and we desire to know how many of you can determine to make this your daily goal for the entire membership. I must remind you, though it would seem that I need not, that the music of the astral plane pulls you quickly to its level by sentimentality, by sympathy, and by the incorrect beat. You have heard wondrous music at this conference. See that you duplicate it. See that you maintain that aura round about you. This is a key. Next, beloved, do not eat those foods which pull you down into the astral plane. Those that are heavy in spices, sugars, strong meats, wine, etc. You are in the astral plane before you know it. Blessed hearts, I have observed from inner levels, when you have spent decades out of embodiment on the astral plane, and there was not a thing that the great law would allow me to do in your behalf, for it was your karma, your will, the law of your own being and your own desire that put you there. Thus understand, archangels are the manifestation of God. Archangels come in the fullness of the I am that I am. We are fully God manifestation. Therefore, we cannot act in your behalf unless you meet us halfway and come to the level of your Holy Christ self through devotion and prayer and meditation, and specifically the songs you have to the Holy Christ self and the Holy Christ flame. Beloved hearts, I desire to see recordings made of those decrees and songs that will keep you in the way of God. I tell you, this messenger has been raised to cosmic heights through these dictations, and every one of you who has placed yourself here has experienced new levels of consciousness. You have been taken to advanced levels of the etheric octave where you have not been in thousands of years. You have touched the hem of the garment of God. Now I say, hold on to that hem and that garment, for all you are worth and with all your might. For I tell you, beloved, the stairs of heaven are not easily won. And when they are won, they are often lost, for it is not easy to retain them. Therefore the byword is, hold fast that which thou hast received. Hold fast to the light. Hold fast to the light. Hold fast to me, beloved ones. Heaven does not give the gift that is not needed. And what is a gift that is given after the need is manifest? Therefore we have given you gifts that you will need on the morrow and in 2 weeks and in 6 months and during the entire year. Therefore garner them in your chakras. Value the state of consciousness that is the young mind and heart, and yet that has the flow of the Divine Mother. Value your spirituality, your spiritual being, and your goal. Know who you are and manifest who you are daily. A clean white page has been turned for you with the conclusion of this conference. Preceding pages of the days record just how much karma you have balanced, just how much you have worked with the flame of the altar, how much you have multiplied the action of the dictations by your love, by your tears of sorrow in having sinned, and by your tears of joy in knowing that your Redeemer liveth within. Truly you have come through transformations. You have known the graciousness and the mercy of the Mother of God. You have understood that the church is the abiding place, the Sangha of the Buddha. You understand the sphere of light and the circles upon rings of light that make up the body of God throughout the universes. You have been gently, cordially, and politely invited to become a part of this body of God. You have been urged, you have been commanded, you have been pleaded with. I, Archangel Michael, stand before you. I stand in this hour, and I tell you, beloved, it is imperative that you know reality, that you see reality, and that you look upon reality each and every day of your life in your meditation and in your heart of hearts. The 7 archangels stand, and their archei. Other archangels of other levels who have not been unveiled to you except the one you call Uziel. Archangels all have come for the deliverance of the one, for the elevation, for the return, for the reunion, for the bonding to our bands and our octaves of one that has gone forth and one that has returned. In the name of Almighty God, I, Archangel Michael, assign to each and every one of you a member of my legions, one single mighty angel who shall stay with you as long as you give the call to Archangel Michael and any of our decrees to Archangel Michael for 20 minutes each day. So long as you sustain that which is the absolute minimum requirement of the great law, this angel of my bands shall not leave you until the hour of your ascension in the light. Understand whom you deal with when you deal with the archangels. Thus we pray that you will rise, beloved, to new heights of consciousness, and then anchor those heights of consciousness solidly in the practical domain of your living and your life, in the building of this community as it should be, surely as that place where many, many souls may come. Let us see the increase of the harvest in this year. The light goes forth now for those who have been judged by the fourth woe through Alpha are now being bound by the legions of Astrea, the legions of the 7 archangels, legions from out the great central sun. It is one thing to receive the judgment, beloved. Then there is the binding, and then there is the removal of those individuals who no longer have the option to pollute planet Earth. And then there is the digging deep into the earth body for the removal of the records of their karma, the records of their infamy, lest these come upon this and future generations, being perpetuated through the media, through the print, through the voice, through the spoken communication. Therefore, this day and in this hour, I, Michael, raise my hand, and I raise that hand for the consuming of the records of these fallen ones, blessed hearts. The removal of so many fallen ones from a planetary body can be just as cataclysmic as the ascension of many, for it is a major adjustment in the earth when forces of light and darkness that are in relative equilibrium are changed or unbalanced. Therefore, remember to keep the flame of what you are as you go forth from this conference. You have climbed a very high mountain. You will slowly descend that mountain. I pray that there will not be a deceleration of consciousness, but rather a focalization in every atom and cell of your being, in your organs and chakras, of the light you have received, that the light might be sealed inside of you rather than flood the world around you and attract undue notice to your life stream. Therefore, let the descent be a gentle deceleration, whereby the fiery coils are tight within, and yet you return to an aura and an appearance of normalcy to others. You then walk the earth as a son or daughter in training under the sons and daughters of the solitude. Understand, beloved, that you must build on these foundations. Many years of the past, there has been a forgetfulness and a neglect and a loss of those dispensations. Therefore, the lords of karma draw nigh, and they are protective of the light released. And if there is a suggestion that a life stream will misqualify that light, it will simply rise to the higher octave without allowing the individual to misqualify it. These are days and hours when the light that is released to earth is as precious as gentle drops of rain. A small quantity of light is great, beloved. Therefore, come and understand that the more we give, that you keep and multiply and qualify unto the great God, the more that shall be entrusted to you individually. I remind of this because it is a karma-making situation, and it becomes the karma of the ascended masters who are your sponsors. It becomes your own karma, and beloved, it is a waste to pour light into a leaky vessel. Some of you have not yet healed the rents in your garment, in the many layers of that garment. Therefore, you above all must call daily for your tube of light, and to me for the manifestation of my protection, while the healing work of the violet flame angels goes on within. When you do not, with a great fire and light and determination, set that tube of light around you, then you are not able to hold the protection for the leaky vessel, for the holes in the garment that have been made over many thousands of years. Accidents, voices from other octaves, imbalances, psychological problems, the hearing of voices, etc. All these are the result of the weakening of the four lower bodies and the rents in the garment, where you cannot hold the balance of the inner integrity of the soul, the fire of the solar plexus, the fire of the heart and the mind. Yes, beloved, those of you who wonder why you have this or that condition or that or another karma upon you, understand that when you allowed yourself once upon a time to be vulnerable to individuals who sought no good but ill for you, you opened the door to the entire astral plane. Therefore, hear the answer. All of you who ask the question, why? Why do I have this problem or that problem or the next problem? It is because of those rents in your garment, and those very rents in your garments, beloved ones, are causative in tying you to the astral plane. For when you fail to observe the very first rule of the keepers of the flame lessons, to invoke the mighty tube of light, to invoke the violet flame and affirm the keeper's daily prayer, you are not building a solid foundation, a base upon which we may continue to build. Our healing angels are devoted to your healing. You must all consider yourselves as having this or that malady or out of alignment state. Yes, beloved ones, some area of all of you requires healing. Therefore you have come to this church and this altar, for you know that true and everlasting healing comes from God through the archangels and the archai. One and all, we have been known as healers throughout the ages. You have recognized at the level of your soul that you will not be healed unless you have the help of angels. Well, you do have that help, beloved ones, but do not think that because you have been a keeper of the flame for so long, you can in any way neglect the call to the tube of light. It is a wondrous call. It is the mantra of your Knight Commander, Saint Germain. Therefore, it is his electronic presence. Therefore, you have him superimposed upon yourself when you invoke it. After all, beloved, you keep the flame of life on earth for all people. But do you not also keep the flame for beloved Saint Germain, the violet flame itself, the fleur-de-lis that has been his emblem for so long? Yes, you do, beloved ones. Let not the flame be marred, nor the chakras. Therefore, fully clothe yourselves in the full armor of God, and when you are so sealed, it is as though you are sealed in that special place, as it were a hospital, where the angels may come and tend to you and knit back together those conditions which are coming apart, literally at the seams. Thus, on the one hand, you are strong in the Lord, strong in his voice, strong in your decree momentum, and on the other hand, there is a weakness, an ultimate weakness in each one that is a reminder to you forever and forever that ye are God's only insofar as ye are one with a threefold flame. And otherwise, beloved, that weakness does remind you that you are mortal, that you are limited, that your bodies, even the four lower bodies, are ultimately corruptible, and that therefore you have a certain time, for existence to you is temporal, and you must attempt to make your identity in this octave permanent before the conclusion of this embodiment. There is nothing more important. Perhaps it is not important to the rest of the world, but I tell you, beloved ones, every single one of you has been hand-picked as a ripe apple from the tree of life and drawn to this path and this teaching. By and by, after you had suffered long enough and become fed up with the world and the human consciousness, you have been called and brought to the feet of your own mighty I Am presence at the time when you were able to receive this teaching, to keep it, to cherish it, and not reject it. This is for a reason. Do not think it is because you are special in the attainment sense of the word, but simply assume that it is because you are special as having an extraordinary need for an extraordinary help from those of us of higher octaves. And because you have that need, beloved, and can make it no other way except by our intercession, we have called you to be the first fruits of those who should receive the light from the altar. Therefore, come to the altar as lepers, be cleansed, be made whole, and share that wholeness with those who then are on the next rung of the greatest need of all evolutions on this planet. I am Archangel Michael. I stand for your eternal victory, and I will tell you one thing. There are days, as I count the days, when for one single one of you, I and my legions, in order to defend you, will slay 10,000 demons on behalf of one keeper of the flame. Now understand how heaven goes to war for you. These are not small skirmishes. These are the wars against the ultimate fallen ones who know you, who have your number, and see to it that you are going to be put out of embodiment. Blessed ones, when we come home from these battles, we are happy. We are happy to see you rejoicing. We are happy to see you in your recreation and in your dedicated service and long hours. We would like you to know, however, what it takes on our part and on the part of your mighty I Am Presence to keep you in embodiment on the path. And we would like you to know that if you should apply just a little more effort to your dynamic decrees, we could help others like you who are not able to decree, for they know not of the science of the spoken word. We ask you to think, therefore, each day in God gratitude of those of us who lay down our lives for you daily, and to manifest that gratitude by laying down some portion of your life in decreeing for the light bearers who are the very next ring and the next and the next, 3 rings out from the inner retreat, whom you must go and find and save and defend. We say, be ourselves in form, defend them as we defend you, and see how you will meet your comrades of all ages and systems of worlds. I bow to you in the living spirit of the first ray of God's holy will. You may salute Archangel Michael.
Hail, Archangel Michael! Hail, Archangel Michael! Hail, Archangel Michael!
Hail, Archangel Michael! Hail, Archangel Michael! Hail, Archangel Michael!